Hey, it's Max, and today we're talking about everything Apple just announced at their October 13th event. So they started off really simply with a new HomePod announcement, and it's called HomePod Mini. It goes for $99 on the website, and it's smaller, and it's really cool, it's really cute, and it really brings some of the great things about Apple's bigger HomePod that was released a couple years ago to a smaller size and to a more consumer-friendly price. The HomePod used to start at $400 on Apple's website, which was way too much for a lot of people, and that was just for Siri and some music listening capabilities, and Siri isn't even very good. I mean, Siri can't do as much as Alexa or Google Assistant can, and so it was kind of too much for something that can't do as much as a lot of people need it to. And so now we have the HomePod Mini, which sure doesn't have like a much better assistant on board, but it is for a smaller price. It's smaller, it's more discreet, and it's also super stylish looking. Their intro film in it at the event in the first 5 minutes of it was amazing, and the whole event was just a really beautiful thing. And as it has been with a lot of all other events that they've been doing this year, adapting to this whole pandemic situation we have. And so they had a beautiful song in the beginning with really nice time lapses, and it was super cool and super fun. And yeah, it's been a really cool year and week, honestly, for tech recently. The HomePod is available to order on November 6th, and it will ship on November 16th, which is only a couple days away, honestly, as well as the new iPhones that came out. And we all sort of knew that there were going to be new iPhones because last month at their Time Flies event, there were no iPhones, and some people who were expecting iPhones were disappointed. But when you think about it, Time Flies doesn't really tell you anything about an iPhone and more about an Apple Watch. And so they had some incredible and amazing iPhone announcements at this event. There are 4 new iPhones in the lineup, and there are 3 that were from past years. So right now, the current iPhone lineup that are still available on Apple's website are the iPhone SE, which goes for $399, the iPhone XR, which goes for $499, the iPhone 11, which goes for $599, the iPhone 12 and 12 mini, which goes for $699, and the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro, which start at $999. And so one of the biggest rumors about this event was that they were going to be unveiling a mini version. And they did unveil a mini version of their baseline iPhone, the iPhone 12. And so now it's iPhone 12 mini, iPhone 12, iPhone 12 Pro, and iPhone 12 Pro Max. And yes, they have 5G. And they had the CEO of Verizon on stage as well during the event. And he was talking about how they're bringing 5G to 200 million people in more than 1,000 cities around the US, which I think is really cool that they have such a wideband network. Because Verizon ultra wideband. And so the iPhone 12 has 2 cameras. There is a wide and an ultra wide. The wide has a brand new aperture of 1.6, which is like really, really wide, which I think is awesome that they have such a wide camera aperture. And that means better low light photos on the ultra wide angle lens, which is awesome too. All of the iPhones in this year's lineup that were released this year have the A14 Bionic chip, which is super cool, and that's also shared with the iPad Air. So all of the iPhones this year also have the brand new Super Retina XDR display, which is the display on their $7,000 Pro Display XDR, which is a massive, really expensive 6K display. This one, of course, is not as great resolution because it's like this big instead of like this big, but it is awesome, and apparently it's a beautiful screen. It's the same screen that was on the iPhone 11 Pro last year. And this is just bringing their baseline iPhone lineup towards their Pro lineup, which on the one hand is great, but also it kind of makes it a little bit that you're not getting Pro features necessarily that aren't on the smaller and baseline iPhones. However, they're still great iPhones and they're still very capable. There are these beautiful flat edges, which are awesome. I love those and they look awesome, and I'm sure they're going to be really cool to, be able to stand your phone up on your desk. But at the moment, nobody, as far as we know, has gotten an iPhone yet, but we'll have to see. There's also a new blue with the iPhone 12 Pro and iPhone 12 Pro Max, and the iPhone 12 Pro and iPhone 12 Pro Max have a 4 camera array, and so there is a wide, ultra wide, telephoto, and LiDAR. They have LiDAR on the iPhone 12 Pro now, not on the iPhone 12, just the iPhone 12 Pro, which I think is awesome too, because I really enjoyed using LiDAR on this iPad, and I think it's awesome too that they're able to put the LiDAR scanner that they've had on the iPad for a little while now on the iPhone as well. Although I did see in the presentation, it looked really small. Like, it does not look like this. Like, because that feels like it's a pretty big... I mean, it does look pretty big, and to be able to fit it on like a 6.1-inch iPhone is kind of interesting, but we'll have to see. iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro pre-orders have already started, and that means that you're able to order all of the colors and all of the storage sizes, 5G, everything on iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro, but the specialty size iPhones, iPhone 12 Mini and iPhone 12 Pro Max, will start pre-orders on November 6th, and they'll start shipping on November 16th. So do expect some iPhone 12 content in a couple months. So now there's also HDR3, which is just improved HDR along all of the cameras. But something that is pretty incredible on the iPhone 12 Pro and iPhone 12 Pro Max is that now you have the ability to shoot Apple Pro RAW photos on the iPhone 12 Pro and iPhone 12 Pro Max. So with iPhone 12 Pro and iPhone 12 Pro Max, we have Pro RAW, which is allowing you to have a ton of detail, an absurd amount of detail, as they say on their website. It gives you so much creative control and so much control over the photos that you're taking. I take a lot of photos on my phone. I love taking photos on my phone because you're just out there and you're taking photos of whatever you need to take photos of, and you don't have to bring a big camera or something anywhere around. As well as shooting in Dolby Vision 4K video on iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro Max. But what's even more amazing is that you can create it, edit it, share it, and do everything you would need to without setting up a total stationary workstation with DaVinci Resolve and tons of expensive equipment, just your phone and Dolby Vision video. So with Dolby Vision recording, you have 60 times the amount of colors that are on regular 4K recording, and 4K on the iPhone is already pretty good. With Dolby Vision, you can shoot, edit, watch, and share all on your phone, which, may I add, has thinner bezels and a much more compact size. So a 6.1-inch iPhone, like this one that I have in my pocket, the iPhone XR, which I've been using for a while, it has amazing battery life, but what's more important is that these bezels are actually kind of big. This is the size of the iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro, except that it's probably a little bit smaller because of these decreased bezel sizes, but there's still a notch. And also, there's 87% better low light performance on iPhone 12 Pro Max, as well as a 65mm instead of 52mm telephoto lens. So on the iPhone 12 Pro Max, you'll be getting a little bit better camera system. But if iPhone 12 Pro is for you, then maybe you don't need the better camera system. Also, there are now up to 1,200 nits of brightness on the Super Retina XDR display, which is so bright, and it also allows you to see a lot more detail in all of the things that you're doing, and you'll instantly be able to tell that it's really, really nice. Also, no 120 hertz, still hits 60 hertz, but honestly, this is the nicest 60 hertz display I've ever used. It does feel pretty fast, I guess, but the iPhone XR doesn't have as good a screen as the iPhone 12 Pro does, so I'll be interested to try that out. And now there's MagSafe. There's MagSafe again. MagSafe returns. And so now you can just click a charger right onto the back of your phone, and it basically just charges your phone with magnets inside. And so it's like I don't know, it's a clicky, I guess. But that also means that you'll have so much more flexibility with cases and also with wallet attachments on the back. So literally, your wallet attachments just go right on. Also, there's no more charging brick or ear pods, and Lisa on the roof let us know that's because of environmental impact. But there's an article I read that I'll put in the link in the description below that's actually about how it doesn't really save the environment, but more saves costs. But you can read that on your own time. This also means that the boxes are smaller, and so you can fit more into one shipping pallet, and that means that you can easily ship more boxes in a few less shipments, and so that means less carbon emissions. The iPhone 12 Pro also starts at 128 gigabytes instead of 64 gigabytes, which is good. And as I mentioned in my MacBook Air versus iPad Pro video, which will be up here and link in the card, that's a good thing, and that's a thing that we've seen on the iPad as well. So you can check that out up there too. And there you go. Those are the new iPhones, and they're super cool, and I'm really excited to try out the iPhones, and we'll see how that works. So thanks for watching. Press the like button below if you like this video, subscribe below if you're not already, and comment below if you have any questions for me, or if you just like to make your voice heard, something we need now more than ever. Bye.